Hello, back with a weekly Oracle card reading for the week of February 20th through 26th. This is Jen Gilchrist, and I'm happy to have you here. If you are new to me, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you have been with me for a while, say hello in the chat as well. I'd love to see who's here. I'm working with the Rose Oracle from Rebecca Campbell, which is a great, beautiful deck. And my intention is to really support you in getting messages to help you align with your higher path and purpose. Whoever is listening to this, that is my intention, that you will get a message that will support you in this way. I typically work with highly sensitive, intuitive, empathic people who feel called to share their gifts in a world in some form or fashion, or who've gone through some level of spiritual awakening. So let's see what's coming up this week. The Anointed, answer the call, right? You can't make this stuff up. I don't look at the cards first. I just shuffled. The Anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, and soul gifts. So this is super exciting. I just actually completed a 4-day masterclass series last week that is completely free and available and still going for the next 3 weeks. So I feel called to share, as this card is talking about your soul gifts. And that is exactly what we did. We amplified our soul gifts, made sense of them, helped you heal, helped you awaken and align with your higher path and purpose. And so if that's exciting to you, look in the details. If you haven't joined us yet, or if you have joined and you haven't listened, you have plenty of time. They're going to be available for another couple of weeks as well. So this is telling you it's time. So a couple of things I'm seeing just intuitively, it's like I see this energy of it's like cracking open. So this is where it's showing that you've gone through a level of awakening, whether it's your first spiritual awakening that you're like, whoa, the lights are on now, but I don't know what to do with all of this. Like, what the heck, right? I know that's how it is, a little disorienting initially, but it's also exciting. Or if it's that you've just gone through a deep level of transformation, right? You've just come out of a healing period, which has opened up new doors of opportunities for you. And it's calling you into your leadership. So I feel like for most of you, you're aware of this and you are really being called into your next level. You're being called to share your voice, to share your message, to speak your truth, right? And for some of you, it might be that you have an idea for a business and now it's time to act. And for others, it's about going to the next level, speaking on larger stages, writing a book, whatever it is that's next for you. This has definitely been a healing of the heart as well. I feel like there's a lot of ability, a lot of healing in your heart that has attracted a lot of spiritual support as well. It's raised your vibration, and it's allowing you to receive and to be seen really at that next level as well. So that's really, really powerful. The next card is Release the Petals. Transformation, death and rebirth, shedding all the change. And this really feels, the last couple of weeks has been talking about this death and rebirth period. It's been ongoing. I probably is always an ongoing, but this feels like a relatively significant part of your path and your soul's journey if you're feeling called to watching this recording. And so it's like releasing with love though, right? And I feel like what it was a couple of weeks ago when it was talking about the beginning of the month was talking about releasing the anger, conflict, what would love do, right? And I just see like there's this like little, they're probably rose petals, but it symbolizes like little flecks of love. It's like as you softened and surrendered into love, right? Whether it's releasing judgment of yourself of the past or judgment of others, or just surrendering the old and allowing the new, you are allowing this change to come in, and it's very beautiful, and you're going to be blossoming, right? Sometimes like we can't always see the results. The transformation on the energy level happens instantaneously, but it takes a little while to integrate, and it takes a little while for it to show up. It takes a little while for us to really anchor that in as our new normal. And some of you might even be looking around. If you look back 6 months or a year ago, you might kind of not recognize yourself. It's like, wow, when I look back, a lot has actually changed, where sometimes it's hard for us to see the change for ourselves in the moment. The next message is the sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. Now we've had this message. It's an action time too. Don't get me wrong. I've been feeling like there's a call into action, into leadership, into your projects and things like that. But it's going to be done with a lot of balance, with a lot of spiritual support, with a lot of sacredness. It feels like making sure that you're creating that space for your own self-care rituals. And maybe you haven't been, and maybe that's part of the problem. If for some of you, I feel like it's kind of split. Some of you might have just been going and burning the candle at both ends, or just been very even excited at the possibilities of what you're creating and get excited, and then you eventually burn out, right? It's 11:11 here when I'm recording this, actually, so that's always fun. So that feels like just such a validation, both of your spiritual alignment, your spiritual purpose, and the message for this week. So take some time, whether you can be outside in nature, that can be rejuvenating, hot salt baths, right? Whatever it is, water can be very healing, but it's not the only way. I think the overall message is about giving yourself time and space also to nourish your body and your mind and your soul, right? Creating that alignment, but also to receive messages, to receive guidance, to be fed, right? To allow yourself to be inspired and fed energetically, emotionally, spiritually, so that you can take your action from that space, from an overflowing cup versus an empty one. The second bloom, that's funny because this card popped out. I don't think I've ever actually pulled this card out of this deck. I haven't had it all that long. But it fell out before I started, and then just now again. And it says a second chance. It's never too late. New possibilities. So this does have to do, sometimes when we're being called to let go of something old, or maybe even a project or an idea that you've been working towards that maybe no longer is fully aligned, or maybe you were latched onto a vision or idea that just wasn't totally right, or maybe you've just expanded beyond and there's even more. Maybe you're limiting yourself and you don't realize it. I'm just naming off, spouting out different possibilities that might be in your mind, but whatever it might be, and this could even be larger for some people, like maybe you're still holding on to who you were in the past, right? Sometimes there's a level of forgiveness that needs to happen for yourself and others. There has to be a level of releasing regret, disappointment, frustration, or anywhere where you've been hard on yourself and judging yourself on some level. I feel like the word judging is coming up. And so maybe there's some level of forgiveness for yourself or for others, but ultimately, even when we're forgiving others, we have to forgive ourselves for our part, or for being in the relationship, if you found, or for anything that we've done in the past. That doesn't define us if you don't allow it, right? That's just another sneaky way that fear will hide and manifest itself, that keeps us farther away from what it is and who we are and who we came to be and how we can support and be of service in the world. So I feel like there's this level of like self-love, right? There's a level of self-love and healing at the center of all of this, at least this whole spiritual growth cycle that you've currently been in. And it's about just knowing that, it's never too late. There's always something new. There's new opportunities at any second of any moment. You can realign with that higher path, with that higher truth, with love in your heart for yourself and for others. And nothing that you've done in the past is able to stop you from what it is that you are creating and deserving and wanting to desire to create in the future, right? And so don't hold judgment against yourself, and don't feel like living in regret and in the past is sucking up your energy and robbing you of your future. And it doesn't have to, right? It only does that if we allow it. And that's a product of the mind, sometimes our own inner insecurities, or where healing work may still need to happen. And so just notice that no matter where you're at in life, it's never, ever too late. You can always create something new, which is very exciting, right? I'm going to pull another card, actually. Healing is happening, right? I love that. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It is safe to soften. So it is about trusting. It's about surrendering. The healing is happening and occurring. Just notice the mind if it wants to tell you otherwise. Notice if you're viewing yourself, or even others sometimes, through a past lens, through a past self lens, right? How can you really embrace and step into who you are now, who you're being now, and who you're wanting to become? It's about really owning that identity and knowing that healing is occurring. And it's trust the process, right? Know that you're worthy. It's safe to surrender. Trust. Love it. Beautiful. So that is a very beautiful reading. For those of you that resonate with this, I'd love to have you share this with your friends, comment, let me know how it resonated for you. And I'd also love to invite you, if you haven't joined us yet, in the 4-day masterclass series to amplify your soul gifts. It's what it's all about, aligning with your higher path. We actually have a bonus call, an expansion journey, expand and align with your higher timeline, this coming week as well. And all of the replays that have already happened, although there's still more to come. So it's not too late. that is going to be available through, let's see, the beginning week of March. So you've got a little bit of time here for sure. And I'd love to see you there. So thank you so much for joining with me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.